Should say recording now.
Yep.
Okay. I should introduce myself. Hi, I'm Tiffany Schweitzer Guzman. I'm the GT specialist at O'Connor High School.
And I am Missy Sneddles, and I am at Brandeis.
And what we're going to do is kind of do the same presentation that we do for the 8th graders when we go and present to them, just so that you can have an overview of what high school classes are available to your child. We're also going to go over endorsements, what AP classes are available to them starting freshman year, and then you'll have time to ask any questions, just in case if maybe you have an individual question that's just the transition into high school. So what we're going to start with is the 3 courses that are available to you in high school. There's GT Student Leadership 1, and that's the freshman class. GT Leadership 2 is a semester class, and that is for sophomores. And then the Independent Study Mentorship, which is available to them junior and senior year. Every class that is GT in high school is an elective, and every class has honors. So if you haven't had a high school kid come up yet, or haven't had a high school kid, they get 5 bonus points to their GPA for honors and advanced classes. They get 8 bonus points to their GPA for AP and dual credit classes. So any electives that do a bit, give them that honors option really does set them a little bit higher in their GPA and their class ranking compared to students that are going to be taking regular classes. You want to still make sure that they are getting good grades in those classes that they're taking that give them the bonus points, because on the transcript, colleges won't see, like, if the kid gets a 90, they won't see the 95, but they'll see it in the GPA. So we're going to break down each course with you just briefly, and then of course if you guys have any questions at all, you can put it in the chat, or you can of course at the end unmute yourself and talk to us about the questions. So the first class, the GT Student Leadership, it is a year-long class, and we break it down into 2 semesters. The first semester we focus on inward, and then the second semester outward. The students do take the pre-SAT test, the ones that are in our GT class, and we will bring in tutors to help them. So freshman year, we can get a base score. We can see how they're performing. And then every year we can bring in more tutors. We can help them individually and really help them to improve that score. For the kids.
And most of the time, the kids that are GT students are the ones that end up getting the National Merit Scholar recognition, and that's essentially what we want, because that we have a couple of kids who are currently in our program that are finalists for the NMSQ.
And with that, it really could lead to a complete ride for college, or at least half the tuition. So whenever we talk to the kids in high school, the GT program, it doesn't have any tests, it doesn't have any quizzes, it doesn't have a textbook. We do have set curriculum, but we get to move and be more flexible with our pace. So they don't really get homework unless they're not working in the class period. So the pre-SAT is our main focus to start with, just because we want to make sure that they get a good base. And then we can see where they need to improve every year, and we can give them that foundation. And hopefully they can go to a school that's out of state, or maybe that's more expensive, and not have to pay college tuition. So for the kids, we always just talk to them about it being like scholarship money. Just think of it as cash, which is a pretty good sale, because the EOC and tests like that, it's not for them individually, but this test equals money for your family. We do team building throughout the school year, and we actually do that in all of our GT classes. We do focus on different creativity. It really allows them to be flexible and have that moment where during the day, this course is not like any other course that they're taking throughout their day. We do things with music, with art, and they do not have to be good at art. I always get that question. They don't have to be good at art. We really focus on their leadership skills, because they're going to be the leaders on our campus. So we want to make sure that we connect them with the organizations that they want to get involved in, and make sure that they have that smooth transition into high school. And of course, we do other assignments throughout that first semester, but it's really focused on inward. The second semester, we get our pre-SAT scores usually back in December. So at that point, we can look at the pre-SAT scores, see how they're doing, and then the practice becomes more individualized, because it is linked to their individual test. So if I needed more help with my Algebra 1 questions, mine would be linked that way, where if someone else needed help on the reading passages, we know where to focus. We're going to do college research. I know they're not expected to pick everything out for the next like 4 years of their life, but we want to give them the skills so when they are juniors and seniors and they're looking up college information, they know how to do that, and maybe their peers in other classes won't know. So we research colleges, possible majors that they might be interested in. We do bring college presenters, and they're not just going to come and say like, this is Rice University or this is UT or Texas A&M, but they're going to come and talk about like their engineering programs, their vet programs, their law schools. And so it really allows the students to kind of see what's available to them. And now that they have their pre-SAT score, they can see like, how would I get into this college? Like, how much money would I get for my pre-SAT score? Where do I need to improve on it? And then of course we do resumes. So by the time they are seniors, they're really just copying and pasting their resume that we've been working on in GT into their college applications. And so that kind of makes them not worry as much, because a lot of students are applying to college now in between junior and senior year. So this kind of gives them just the ease of an easy transition in trying to do the college application. There are scholarships that are available to even ninth graders, but we want to show them how to get those scholarships. So throughout their time of high school, they can continue to look up scholarships on their own, or they can always ask us to get the scholarships. Does anyone have any questions just about this class in particular before we move on to the other classes? You're welcome to put it in the chat and we can answer it, or at the end we can unmute. Maria, do you have anything you want to add for?
Yeah, so the GT, when we're looking, we're really wanting to get the students to be college ready, and it starts their freshman year. A lot of kids think they wait until the last minute, their junior year, when we don't have them. They wait until the last year to start working on all of this stuff, but kids that are in GT1, they're able to do that with us throughout the year and building that resume and looking at what's important and community service and things that they wouldn't be able to do in other classes. We work on those skills, life skills that they need when they exit high school. And so by the time they get to their junior year, they're not as stressed out because they haven't done some of the things that they should have done. So it really does help them set all of those things, prep them for junior and senior year.
So this is just this leadership, this is a class? I mean, this is like a class they would be enrolled in their freshman year?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and they get honors points. We talked about that. Most of the kids that are in our GT program, they end up being those that want to be in the top 10%, top 6% of their graduating class, because that gives them automatic admission here in the state of Texas for public schools. So when they take electives that give them honors points, that helps boost their GPA. So this class it also offered speech, but I know that they take speech now in middle school, but this is another way that they would have been able to get the speech credit as well. Okay. But it is, yes, it's a class. Mm-hmm.
It is an elective. Most students are taking Algebra 1 in middle school, so they're coming up with the math already. Some are taking fine arts, and many already come with their Spanish or their foreign language. And so it does fit into the majority of their schedule for next year. And even if they're in band and a sport, it usually fits into their schedule. So it's not a big deal to fit GT1 in their class. And since I've been at O'Connor the last 8 years, the kids that are 1 through 10 in their graduating class are all the kids that are sitting in the GT1 class, because they're the only freshmen that are kind of getting that transition and that help into high school and realizing the importance of what they're doing starting freshman year. Because sometimes they think freshman year isn't as important, but really freshman year, sophomore and junior year are what you're putting on your transcript for college. And so it really helps with that transition. So the next course that we're talking about is GT2, and that one is a semester class. It is honors as well. So most students will take that class one semester with us, and then the second semester or the first semester they'll take health. So I know at our schools they kind of cluster the GT kids in the same health class, so they're there with their friends, and health is a requirement that all students need to graduate. They do get the bonus points here. This one really focuses on community service, and GT1, the students do have freedom in that class, but GT2, the students run pretty much the class period. They decide what community service we're going to do, how it's going to be implemented on our campus, if it's in our feeder schools, our elementary schools, and then what they're doing with the community. So for instance, I have students this year that are working with like Soldiers Angel, San Antonio Food Bank, and the Hello to Humane Society. That's what they decided. They just tell me what they need, and they'll set up like pet adoption events, they'll set up donation drives, different organizations, like different community service that's available to students on our campus, and they run everything. So that part of that college application, that our GT kids are so involved in so many different extracurricular activities that sometimes they don't have time to do that on their own. So this allows them to do it during class and still get community service. We still focus on pre-SAT because our students, only the GT freshmen in our classes will take the pre-SAT freshman year, but all kids take it sophomore year. Only the kids that are sitting in a GT class actually get the tutoring for the pre-SAT. And then every kid takes it sophomore and junior year. And then Northside also pays for one SAT the spring of their junior year. So really it's like building up to that, and we can help them transition and improve their score with every single year. So this one's really focusing on community service, but the students pick how and what we're going to be doing in class. Should I add anything else for that one, or?
No, I mean, we definitely, we facilitate, you know, everything's, we have checkpoints of what they need to do throughout the semester, and it really gets them to, they are the ones that have to contact the organizations. They're the ones that have to do, setting everything up, getting those skills to their time management in the classroom. I mean, they get so many advantages of doing this and talking to people in the community and getting them to be comfortable in those type of leadership skills that they will need for later on. And so you can see the growth with the kids. It's always awesome to see them not just do something in the community, but you see the growth in how they are able to communicate a lot better and focus on what they need to work on, and the time management, classroom management that they need. It's awesome. I love it.
So our next class, Maria is going to talk about.
And all of this stuff that we've been doing with them, you know, it's kind of building them up to the independent study mentorship class. And that's exactly what it is, independent study mentorship. They get the ability to meet with a mentor in the field that they would like to pursue in the future. And we always get students who have these ideas of what they want to do when they leave high school. And it's a great opportunity for them to mentor with someone throughout the entire year. And they get to go meet with their mentor once a week, at least once a week. The class is set with their lunch. It's paired with lunch, so they're able to leave off campus and then come back so that they're able to go to the next class. But they get that real world experience and being around like-minded people and see what the job is, what the job entails, and whether that's really what they want to pursue. So we've got so many kids who, you know, are working in various different topics throughout the year. So the same thing, we facilitate the classroom. We have it's a very specific timeline that we have for things that they need to do with their mentor, and then they go out and they do it. It's a great opportunity for them to see whether they like it or not, and it really does help them decide whether, oh, you know what, this I don't think this is for me. It's not what I thought it was going to be, and it saves them time and money before they go to college and make that decision to sign up to all these classes and pay and time, whether, you know, so when they're in high school, they're able to see, okay, this class this is what I want to do. I do want to be a firefighter. I do want to work with a medical, with whoever they want, whatever it is that they want to do. And, it's a great opportunity for them to go and make connections with people in those particular fields. I've had students who graduate high school, and they still continue to meet with their mentor, and their mentor ends up, giving them an opportunity to find an internship somewhere. And I had a student a few months ago who called me and told me that her mentor, who was a lawyer, was able to set her up with an internship from a law firm. And then after she finished her internship and took her tests, the mentor that she had her senior year offered her a job at their law firm. And so now she's working with it. So these kids make these connections with all these people in the careers that they want to pursue. And it's such a great experience for all of them just doing it, but whether they decide whether they like it or whether they don't like that career, it's a good opportunity for them to see what it's like and get to see things that kids normally don't get to see in the classroom. So I've got kids who are working with medical, somebody who's working with a gynecologist, and she's already seen 3 live births and 4 surgeries. I mean, they get to see so many crazy things that they don't get to see in a regular classroom, and it's just a great opportunity for them. So this is the last 2. They can take it their 11th or 12th grade year. They do have to have transportation to and from. Sometimes kids get dropped, they don't have vehicles, so their parents, who love them very much, go pick them up and drop them off and to their mentor's place of work. Some of them, they can't do that during the week, but they set up an opportunity with their mentor during the weekend, and that works out better for them. So they kind of talk to their mentor, and their mentor helps them out a lot with that. So that's in a nutshell what independent study mentorship is. And at the end of the year, they had to make a 40 to 45-minute presentation to the parents, friends, their mentor, the administrators, and we get, a variety of people come to hear and listen about what they learned throughout the year. And it's really cool to see these kids talk, and they will blow your mind of how awesome they do and all the things that they learned with ISM.
They also have the opportunity, if they don't drive, because we have numerous kids that don't drive. I have kids that are mentoring with their mentors in California doing music producing, and they Zoom with their mentor. So I also have a girl that's mentoring with someone in Austin on constitutional law. So it is available for them to still do a virtual mentorship if it's not like in town and that's feasible for their topic. But it really is a great opportunity to see some of these kids are sitting in surgeries that medical students aren't sitting in yet. And so it's any topic that you can think of, engineering, veterinary science, there's tons of topics.
We also do, aside from the class, we also offer GT seminars, which is just a fancy word for us going on field trips. And these field trips that they go on, they go on one every semester. So we have a fall GT seminar. This year we got to go to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, and they had different sessions that kids could attend and whatever was to their interest. And we had professionals come in and hold these sessions for these students. And aside from them being outside of school and getting hands-on learning, they got to be with other kids from all the other high schools. They all get together, and we bring our students, and they get to, be around each other, like-minded students. And next semester, we're going to the San Antonio Museum of Art. So we'll have sessions as well where they get to go and learn something new. And we have these throughout the year. So a couple of years ago, we had a Text Fest at the Trinity University. We had a NASA presenter. We had them building robots. Just different things that for different interests for all of our students. We one time did the downtown scavenger, learning the historical sites of San Antonio. So we have these field trips that we take our kids throughout the year. Just, aside from learning, it's a fun experience for them just to, do that, get that GT family tradition that we have in our schools continuing to grow on our campus.
So I know the high school counselors will be coming to the middle schools in January. And I know sometimes that can be really overwhelming picking classes. We really just want to stress that at any time you guys can email us. There is only one GT specialist at each high school. So no matter what high school they go to, unless it's health careers, there will be a GT specialist there. And we're there to help them no matter if they're in our class or not. So if you have questions about dual credit, AP, just about, future classes that are available to them, you can email or call us and we will help you with the course card, with whatever you guys need. When they do come and talk to you about the course card, I think they scare some of the kids with this word endorsement. So if you haven't had a high school kid, it's kind of like a 4-year plan, but high school GT kids graduate with at least 3 or 4 different endorsements. And most kids that are in advanced math already are going to graduate with 5 math classes. And so they're already going to get the math endorsement. Every single kid graduates with the multidisciplinary. So that's the 4x4, like the 4 English, the 4 social studies, 4 histories, and 4 science. So if your kid doesn't know what they want to do, picking either one of those endorsements really allows them to try out different classes. Like if they want to try out culinary arts or medical terminology or the architecture class, it gives them the freedom. If they pick an endorsement that they're not excited about at the second semester of their freshman year, when we bring in the counselors to talk to them, they can change their endorsement strand. So it does not need to be a stressful event for them. I really just suggest to put the math one or to put the multidisciplinary and then let them have the freedom to test out all the classes that are available to them in high school. And we'll bring in the success teachers to talk to them about dual credit, AP. We bring in the counselors all during freshman year so that they aren't overwhelmed, because the GT kids like to have, their plans and everything planned out. And we want to make sure that we're there to help them and also to help you guys if you guys have any questions at all about high school. So really we just wanted to let you know that we're here for you, give you an overview of what the classes have, what the high school program has available to you. And then if you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. If it's an individual question and you want to put it in the chat, that's fine as well. And you could also email us or call if it's more just for your child. Do we have any questions or?
I know that's a lot of information.
And I know as soon as the counselors start coming and talking to them, that's when your kid will have more questions as well. So at that point, if you have any questions, don't hesitate in emailing or calling at any time. We're here to help you, and we want to make sure that you have all the information for high school so they can have a great transition into high school. So you guys are welcome. If you don't have any questions, you're welcome to take off. If you have individual questions, you're welcome to stay on, or have a great night, and thank you for attending.
Thank you.